Another Brick fan here with a Marvel Avengers set. This is Avengers Tower Battle. This is set 76166, was released in July 2020, has 685 pieces, 7 minifigures, and cost about $90 when it was released. This is the Avengers Tower in New York City, but with AIM agents, which I believe is based on an Avengers video game and not the Marvel movies themselves. It's similar to the attack on Avengers Tower from 2015. That was set 76038. I put a picture up here on the screen for you to compare the two. That set was based on the second Avengers movie, Age of Ultron, and was shorter than this new one, which measures 17 inches tall. As you can see, here are the minifigures that come with it, and we'll get a close look at all of those in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and start taking a look at the features of the tower itself. As I said, this is a pretty tall tower, so we're just going to kind of take a quick look at the tower, moving from the bottom to the top. So there are 5 levels to this tower. So here's the first and second level, and then move up quickly. You see the brick-built Avengers logo there, and then all the way up to the top where there's just some antennas up there, and a couple of landing platforms. This tower also opens up, so it's in 2 halves here. So you can see a really nice variety of levels, and let's go ahead and start once again at the bottom level. So starting at the bottom level, you see there's Tony's lab here, where he can analyze things. There's a area here, kind of a test center, and then there's a computer over here off to the side. Each of the levels has one of these little silver pieces here. There's a couple of different ones, but these could represent a light or an alarm system or something like that. Next to Tony's lab, there's a garage, and here is a hover cycle of sorts. So it's got some wings, it's got some little fans here, or hover jets here. These are stickers, of course, on the sides, but I think they look pretty good when you get them angled in there just right. This is one of the newer motorcycle pieces, so you simply move this out of the way, you slide your minifigure in there, and then this can kind of hold the minifig in place, and they can fly that cycle from there. Pretty good, and it fits right inside here very nicely. It uses some of these 1x2s with the slant there to hold it in place. Moving up to the next level, this would be a good place to store the Iron Man armors, like the blaster armor and the taser armor, which will show that was the blue and red Iron Man armors you saw. You also see a weapons rack here with a bunch of pistols, maybe a flashlight, some binoculars, and other accessories. This pops out of place here, and behind that you see the Infinity Gauntlet. And this does come with 2 different Infinity Stones, so one of them is here. This would be the Power Stone or the Tesseract here. Moving up to the next level. Up here, again, 2 rooms. So over here is a prison area. So you can lift this up, and we could take one of our AIM agents, perhaps, if we arrested one of them, and then seal him in the prison cell there. There's a little keypad over here. Then on the other side is another lab area, and you see one more Infinity Stone right up here. That is the purple stone. Then moving up to the 4th floor, here we have just some doors that go out to a balcony. So there's a door right here. There's a television up here. It looks like it has a news report talking about an AIM agent. There's also an alternate one. We'll get a close look at that. So one is this video game here. It looks like an Avengers video game. So you see Captain America fighting the Red Skull. And then the one that is currently in the tower is this one here. And again, it looks like a news report where they're talking about an AIM agent. Another thing to notice over here in the kind of lounge area is one of these game controllers. So these game controllers in the lounge area, so you can play your video games in the tower. These chair builds are nice in here as well. They swivel, and it's basically a standard Lego chair, but then it's got a couple of these slope with that peak on it. So it gives it that nice little look. And then if you look way back here on the console there, it looks like someone's on hold on a video call. The top floor here is just a kind of an empty area, maybe as an observation deck or something, and then there's a spot over here where you can also place a minifigure. There's a couple of jumper plates there. Looking at the front of the tower, there is an action feature. Remember, we saw the other side of this prison. So here, if you push this little control here, this little light, what it looks like a light right here, if you push that, it breaks out these windows and allows for a prison break. The bottom windows here open up this way so that the hover cycle can come out of the tower. And then this opens up upward so that we can actually fly our two Iron Man armors in to the Avengers Tower. The overall look of the tower is really good, and I really do like the way they did this brick-built Avengers logo. In the original one I showed you a picture of, it actually had a couple of stickers on the glass, which I didn't think looked as good because it is relatively difficult to get those kind of stickers put together. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the minifigures now. This set does come with 7 minifigures. They include Iron Man, Black Widow, Red Skull, the Iron Man Blazer Armor, the Iron Man Taser Armor, and 2 AIM agents. Let's take a look at Black Widow and Red Skull. As you can see here, Black Widow is in a complete black uniform with a lot of silver accents. She still has her reddish hair here in the nice piece. Now we have the Red Skull has this kind of brick-built weapon. So it includes a stud shooter and then a bunch of these other little accessories with it. So it makes for a nice little build. You'll see that Black Widow has the nice leg printing down here that matches up quite well with the torso. Interestingly, the Red Skull does not have any printing on his legs at all. You see that Black Widow has this nice side printing with a pauldron up here, and then this looks like those bracers she uses. They have tasers and stuff in them that can be used as weapons. Decent back printing here on the Red Skull, and of course he doesn't have an alternate expression here because he has no hair. But if you look, here is Black Widow's alternate expression. Finishing moving up around, you see the side printing on Black Widow again, and then back to the front there. Our 2 AIM agents are essentially the same, except the one has this extra accessory, which is a little thing that goes over his neck with a stud on it so that he can connect this grappling hook accessory to him with this trans yellowish green chain here. They have the same weapons, and then they have this respirator type piece and then a silver helmet. And then looking back there, you can also see that they have kind of a goggle print here for their eyes. The legs are plain on both of these, but in that kind of metallic gray color, just like the helmet's kind of in a metallic gray as well. Different kind of material, so the helmet looks a little shinier than the legs. And then good printing here on the chest, and like I said, it's identical. This torso is the same for both of these figures. No side printing, but they do have the yellow arms. And then looking, you can see for sure that these are the same torso pieces with that nice, good back printing as well, and then no alternate expression as you might expect for these figures. These are pretty typical AIM agents that you see in several of the 2020 Avengers sets. All of the Iron Man figures have a whole bunch of little accessories that go on with them. So you see with this is Iron Man, this is Tony. Of course, you can see here he's got a large rocket thruster or booster here that comes out of his feet, which is done fairly cleverly. They use a 1x2 piece or 1x2 plate here, and then one of these kind of semi-cone pieces here, then some trans blue down here to represent the rocket, so it centers on here by fitting into the anti-stud on the bottom of this. So that makes for a pretty cool look for Tony here. And then you probably saw these two. The blue one is the Taser armor and the red one is the Blazer armor. You can see they both have a lot of accessories with the flames that come out of their feet here for flying, and then the lightning bolts for Taser, and then the looks like flame power pieces here for the Blazer armor. But let's take a closer look at all three of these. So here we have our three Iron Man armors. Once again, this is the Taser, this is Iron Man. It didn't give a mark number for the armor, and then this is the Blazer armor. All of these armors have good leg printing, which includes printing on the toes there or on the bottom of the boots. It all lines up pretty well from what I can see here. The Taser armor has this shoulder piece that goes under the head. Now, the Taser and Blazer armor simply come with these clear minifig heads. So you could move Tony's head into either of these armors if you want. And then Tony, of course, has this heads-up display reflection on his head, which I think is a good touch. Shows him being in the armor. Now, this helmet style does not flip open. There are a few Lego helmets that do flip open, but this isn't one of them. So let's go ahead and look around. There's no side printing on any of these figures, although the Blazer armor does have a couple different colors of red here, so I don't know why they chose to use the bright red hands with the darker red legs and arms, but it seems to work out okay. Back printing again, nice continuation on the backs of all of these, so that looks pretty good. Looking at Tony here, we have just the regular Tony Stark look, and it does come with a hairpiece, so if you want to have Tony without his helmet on, you get that option here with this set. Now that we've taken a look at all the minifigures, let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. Overall, I really like this Avengers Tower set. I like this little chain idea here, so that this is one of our AIM agents coming up to rescue his other AIM agent. I do like the red skull. It is nice to get essentially 3 different sets of Iron Man armor, since Tony comes with his, not only his hairpiece, but he does come with a helmet. Lots of different power pieces in here, like the lightning bolts here, and then the orange blast pieces as well. So lots of good accessories and play features. It's a really nice tower set, and I really appreciate how they put it all together. Looking at the overall price of the set, I think it is a bit high. I always like to start with the price per piece, and it's definitely over that 10-cent per piece, with 685 pieces for $90. However, it does have 7 minifigures, which is quite a few minifigures for a big set like this. So that evens it out a little bit, but I still would have liked to have seen this at around the $70 price point. I think it would have been a lot nicer at that price. Having said that, the value is pretty good because there's a lot of play features involved, and it does make a nice display piece as well. All of the rooms are really small, but they have something going on in pretty much all of them. They're all kind of designed to have a purpose, which I thought was a good touch. Has that nice balcony there, and it also has that landing pad for an Iron Man armor or Iron Man himself. So overall, I think it's a good set to get. Certainly if you can get it on sale, it's going to be a much better value for you. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Avengers set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. I left a link to my Marvel's Superheroes playlist up here on the screen.